What are the cash revenue sources in fashion? So if a model likes images by a photographer, she may hire him or her to film her wedding, for example, an engagement, a birthday event. That's additional revenue for fashion photographers. As you can see, the biggest wedding of the season, probably next couple of years, when Prince married a girl, they choose not a wedding photographer, but they have chosen the fashion photographer to film their wedding. And obviously, if they love your pictures, whether you're filming landscape or fashion, you might end up with like a fashion gig also. Photographers can do some more fashion events and can do TFP shoots in hope that those who like your images and might hire you for a commercial gigs. So we all come together for the fashion week and help each other, and a lot of free production take place in order for everybody to build their portfolio better. And it's at the end it results in the everybody have amazing portfolios, and we can charge commercial folks out of it who are not part of the industry proper normal rate, and make up for the time that we spend filming and doing pictures for our portfolio. As a photographer, I often target real estate agents and brokers to photograph them on a TFP base. On the premises here is that they will hire me when they need real estate photography and architectural photography. So I try to often invite those guys, and when they see that I have professional camera equipment, I have wide angle lens, that translates in those paid gigs. Because one thing is to film a model for free, another thing is to come and film a building or an apartment that they're about to sell. So they understand they have to pay for that, and one of the ways to get that that's through fashion. Makeup and hairstylists may come to do makeup and hair for the models at the show, fashion show. And premises here is that if model likes to work done, they will hire them for the wedding and event makeup and hairstyling. That is why I try to produce so many bridal and wedding gown productions, so they can all have a chance to convert those into the paying gigs. Models have a chance to earn some cash playing gigs if they can meet at the fashion show brand new photographers who have no portfolio and need to create something for a good looking model. Until photographer builds a reputation, they would have to pay a model to pose for them. So a model can have a good chance as a beginner, charge a beginner photographer, and really a good photographer who have commercial clients and budget will pay a model. But and if the cash is they are scrap for cash, otherwise those good photographers can always find models who would be willing to pose for free. So the beginner photographers at the fashion shows are the a good source of income for some models. Fashion show production could be part of the venue, like house and produce the show to entertain their guests. Otherwise, it's self-funded or sponsors. Sponsors have a few interests. They can care of for a write-off on their taxes and fund it just because they like it, or who they like in it. They might just like someone in the production and they just fund it for their sake. Sponsors usually care in the conversion rate from exposure to the event. So they care how that million views convert into how many units of product they sold, how many additional orders they will get out of for their services. If you can show the correlation and numbers, that might get you sponsors. Sponsors might want to impress a particular goal or a client of a potential investor, so they would play a part. Great sponsors are liquor firms and large corporations like Coke, and who have budget for branding. Obviously, you need to have substantial following in order to kind of attract that kind of sponsorship. Government organization, non-profit organizations like City of New York and nonprofits are great to to be approached. Also because they spend not their own personal money, and they just need to be properly entertained and cared and follow the guidelines and paperwork, and they might support your event. Hopefully that's been helpful. If you have more questions and suggestions, I would be grateful if you comment and like her and subscribe to my channel, and I would be able to produce a good video for you next time. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's how to choose a model for film and photography. Easiest way to find a model, obviously, to start with the Model Mayhem and sites like that. Look at the Facebook and Instagram pages. That's where most of the models have their profiles, and you can see they're legit and real people. See if you have any common friends who can do it for you an introduction, and who are legit, and who make sure that she's also real. Ask for her phone number and email so you can verify that it's not a diva and you can actually communicate properly with the person prior to production. It's very important, so you plan the set, location, everything, and the model doesn't show up. That might not be good. See if there is an opportunity to verify if she comes on time and prepared and knows the pose and the facial expressions, because if she comes and there is no makeup and hair and she doesn't know what to do and she's not really into it, that might ruin the end result. Feel if model would be a trouble after the production with the release. So let's say you film amazing content and then model say, oh, you can't film that, you can show that, my boyfriend, my family, I want more money, I want not to show this. So you want to make sure that she does have the rights to work in the United States, and she have not blackmailed other parties in the past. So that might be a red flag. Okay. Understand the reasoning why a model models. Because of the money, because it's fun for her, because she wants to get married, and because she wants to get a publication. It's really important to understand the logic in her mind, what's important, so that way you can appeal and properly find a model that fits your budget or fits your strategy. See what you can offer to her that can that she might actually want and be concerned for her safety. Maybe a famous studio escort with her, transportation to and from the set, food and drinks at the set. So those things, if the person is hungry and feel that you have a great food at the set, they might come, and even small things like that might make a difference. If there is a guarantee publication, that also makes a big difference with the model. Usually girls don't want to waste their time. If there is a definite publication out of it coming, then there is a big chance that many girls and the proper ones will say yes, and you can get a proper talent. Do you have a backup replacement for her? What if she gets sick or it doesn't come, or some kind of emergency appear, which often happens with models? So you want to make sure that you have a backup talent. If she comfortable with the wardrobe, because what if she doesn't want to wear what you envision, or makeup and hairstyle that you provide or not provide? So make sure that those things are kind of covered. What are the backup options that you have? All those things makes a difference when you choose a model for filming and photography. Hopefully that has been a little bit useful for you, and if you have suggestions or advice, please comment and like and follow my production, and I'll be grateful. Thank you. Maybe you can come to my production. This is take 2, how to choose a model for film or production. Okay. The first thing you want to do is to go and look at the model mayhem. Probably that's where the most of them are, and that's where the easiest ways to find them, the model. Also, Facebook and Instagram becomes more and more workable spaces, at least in my way, the way I search for the talent. See what kind of common friends do you have, who can introduce you, who is legit, and if the model, her or he, is real. Ask her for their phone, for the model phone number, email, so that way you can verify if that's a diva, it's going to be someone problem to communicate or not. Having this open communication, like a phone conversation, email conversation prior to the production, is very important, so you can kind of feel a person and the person can see who you are. And see if there is an opportunity to verify if she comes on time and prepared and knows the poses and facial expressions. I'll speak mostly about female talent because that's what mostly it's entail. I don't see that many male talent gigs, at least around my production. See if model would be a trouble after the production was released. Does she has the right to work in the United States? Have she tried ever blackmail other parties in the past? Because you want to work with someone who is legit, and God forbid your production will be a success. You don't want to end up paying more and more and more, and have that or not be able to release the production. Understand the reasoning why models. Because of the money, because it's fun for her, because she wants to get married, because she wants a publication. See what really matters. See what you can offer to her that she may want, and to be concerned about her safety. Maybe if you film at famous studios and she has an escort and transportation to the set and from the set and food and drinks at the set, all those things makes a difference in production. If there is a guarantee publication coming out of the filming, it's also really matters on quality of talent that you might get. Do you have a model or someone to back up in case she doesn't come? If she's comfortable with the wardrobe, makeup, hairstyle that you provide, what are the backup options you got? See if she can put a chameleon face and she can do different looks and different poses. Reliability factor is really important. Looks are important, so if the model is stunning and doesn't even require a lot of makeup, and has a beautiful figure, that would not be fixed by any makeup artist, or it's natural beauty. And at what stage of her career is the model? Is she just beginner, or is she experienced, or she's on the way out? All those things makes a difference. Usually models model for maybe 2-3 years on average, most of them. And so if they starting the career, they're eager to do free stuff and they're eager to film and produce. A model who is experienced just keep looking for getting paid, and might not necessarily interested in exposure and any of those things. She just want on the top of her career and get paid. And the models who are already completing their modeling career, they might not really interested in end result. They bored, they tired, they no longer see the value much at this, so they're finishing those productions, and they're not very exciting, and they're not giving all they can, all they have to the production. They just want to have that experience over. So you should be able to, they might have the skills and experience, but you don't have the thrill of future in those. So it's really a decision, and at which stage of modeling career you want someone. If someone model for many years and nothing accomplished, maybe they have very little success rate ever in the future to accomplish something. So you really that cycle of career makes a difference on it come across from the picture, from the video. You can tell who is in front of you. Camera doesn't lie much. It's pretty much what you see, that's what you get. So try. Hopefully my advice, my suggestions have been kind of useful for you. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, please let me know. I'll be glad to alter those videos and improve them, or like add additional parameters that needs to be discussed. Please like, follow, subscribe, comment. All those things would be really helpful. Share. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is about how to make your YouTube channel more popular. So there are different ways that I find helpful. Invite celebrities and influential people. There is a lot of people following them, and this following can translate to some following towards you and your channel. Film interesting, genuine content. If you have something really cool, people will watch it. Film often and post often. So if you do it only rarely, you might have lots of views, but not that many followers and subscribers, and that comes when you have something that posts often and people are looking forward for your videos. Go live often. Google treats and YouTube treats those, like every other social media platform, favorably towards the live versus recorded videos. Have action, like dancing, music, do things that move, have a story. Plan and prepare. If you have something to say, write it first, read it a few times, practice. Do a few takes, post the best one. So the planning really makes a difference. Find a good editor and learn editing yourself. That's a challenge for me personally. I know how to do everything on my own. I just have so much more fun filming rather than editing. So as you can see, my videos are not that well edited mostly. But editing makes a big difference. Have great locations, have great background. Location, interesting space, beautiful thing in the background makes a difference. Pay attention to a good sound. Sound is, I think, more important than the picture. Crystal clear sound. Hopefully now I'm getting good sound. Make sure your batteries in the mic. I had film in the past and I forgot to charge the battery and lost the sound. So of great footage, battery dies, so make sure that you still have your mic charged. Lights the subject properly, not too much light, not enough light. It's the proper lighting makes it so much more pleasant to watch. Drop media data, do the proper metadata, SEO, promote your footage on different platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Google, Instagram, so Twitter. All those places bring the crowd, so it's one is maybe not enough. They should complement each other probably. I know it's a lot of work, but it makes sense. Try to enter all kind of keywords that will work, and do it when you post, not later, because that's when it's really makes a difference on the new video. They are much more searchable, interesting than the old stuff, so it's really difficult to make the difference. Once the video is already posted, it's really difficult to bring it up as viral, but the new stuff have a little bit of priority, I think, initially, if it's well done and have upfront interesting footage. Schedule posts so they can be anticipated by the audience. That's also important. So once the video come out and you get a lot of audience waiting for them, and like you announce like the video will come out such and such a day on such an event, that's really and people actually go search for it, that's really bring up that in search later on, so it's more people can see it, and that's how the engine works in some ways. Let me know if that been any use for you. If you have any other suggestions that I missed, that I should mention, and hopefully you would be able to use some of my notes and my advice, and maybe you have some advice for me. Anyway, please comment, please like, please subscribe. Thank you. Okay, this is how to produce a fashion show. Um Find the location that fits your budget and pays you. In my experience, hotels are the best ones, so they can have the guests that come all over from the world, and they are here in New York, and they have nothing. Those people have nothing to do at the hotel room after the hours, so they come up upstairs and the lounge and have a drink, and that's add basically value to everybody. People get entertainment, hotels have filled, and drinks get sold, and designers have a show. You need to know a lot of models and have ways to find new models all the time. You will have to have a first probably not large budget so to pay everybody. So you have to be very prudent with money and spend it where it's actually needed to be and saved where it could be saved. Find lots of makeup artists and stylists, hairstylists who are willing to sponsor and support your events. We have large list of them, and offer them some exposure and marketing, so they can show up on time. And if they don't show up, you have to be able to have some replacement makeup artists and stylists. So that's why have extra quite more than need is very important, so you have at least some who will come. You need a substantial network of designers that can come to the show to show different collections, especially if you do this constantly. It only works if you do many of those and do them consistently. I think that's the model I try to explore. You need to be friends with a few promoters and see what they do and how they attract folks to come. Find sponsors, find supporters and backers is the key for many shows. It's a progress that takes time to build and scale. You need to be able to properly execute on Facebook and Google Ads and other social media platforms. Writing effective ad campaign makes a difference. In many shows that have I done, flyer made it or break it. You have to have an amazing flyer, great flyer with proper image and proper graphics for the show. Make sure you have the rights to use the image and graphics. You do not want to end up with a complaint from a model or photographer or designer or anyone who might have any intellectual property claim to the image, like a location where it was filmed. Last time I was doing the fashion week and I got image with my model Natalia, and I took the image, and apparently the venue said the image was taken at their space with another designer, and I had to get permission from designer and the makeup people and the jewelry designer and the location, and even then it still could be used only for editorial purposes, not for commercial, and flyer is a commercial product, so I have to be careful there. So everybody deserves to be can get paid, especially if it's a flyer, so try to make your own where you cover all bases, and follow the rules, because Fashion Week, for example, rules are pretty much strict, and if you bend them or not follow them, you're not welcome next time. Invite influential guests and promote it as far in advance so people can see that you have thousands of people who come to the show, who wants to come for the event. Promote events on different platforms and on different accounts, so people see that marketing effort comes not only from one source. The day of the show and a few days before are the most important, most crucial, and you need to triple or maximize your efforts and budget on those days, because they exponentially, so the people can come and feel that something awesome is about to take place. So much marketing, too much marketing on the same people, might only piss people off, rather than attract them. It makes them feel that no one wants to come to the show, and there is no reason to come to it because they advertise too much. Everything good is in moderation, but like my friends are right now advertising their fashion show, and it's every day. I'm getting 2-3 emails every day. Even maybe it's gonna be a great show, but I'm so pissed that I'm getting those emails consistently for the last couple of months. I definitely not coming there because it just too much. If they need that many emails to me sent every day, I don't want to waste my time. Probably, no one comes, or whoever comes are not the right crowd. Testimonials and interview and posts from models and members of your crew and your guests are the best way to advertise, and they are organic and they have organic value. Have a hook at your event that will help us a lot. Have the keynote speaker that everybody wants to see might definitely help out. Offer VIP passes for influential folks and find ways to make them actually come and talk about your event. Makes a big difference. Thank you guys. If you find any value in what I'm just told you, please like, subscribe, comment, help me to make my videos better. Thank you so much. Alexa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is segment when we talk about how to produce a fashion show. As you know, I produce quite a few of those, so here are some pointers. Find a location that fits your budget or pays you. In my experience, hotels are the best place to do so. They already have guests. They already people come all over from the world to New York, and they have nothing to do sometimes at their hotel room. So at the night they can go upstairs, let's say like in Sky Room, and entertain themselves and see the show and buy some drinks. And it adds some constant value by producing shows consistently in the same location, same hotel. Hotel gets benefit, so people know that every night is a fashion night, and the designers have consistency, and models and everybody. You need to know a lot of models and have ways to find new models all the time, so you will not have the first large budget to pay everybody. And even if you do have a budget, you have to be prudent with the money that you have and spend it wisely where it's actually needed and the most, and save it where it could be saved. Find makeup artists and hairstylists who are willing to sponsor and support your events, and have large list of them. If some of them will not show up at your you still have a replacement makeup artist and the stylist. So have a large army of makeup people who can help you. You need a substantial network of designers so you can choose different collections. Often it only works if you do many of those and do them constantly. I think for the model, I kind of already explored that. You need a substantial network of designers so they can or you need to be friends with a few promoters and see what they can do and how they can attract folks to come. So you become basically a promoter yourself and see what tactics and techniques, how big their list, what kind of venues they cover, how are the sponsors, who follow them. So that really makes a difference. Find sponsors and supporters and backers is the key for many shows. It's a progress that takes time and to be built, and a skill. So keep looking and ask, and you might get some. You need to be able to properly execute on Facebook and Google Ads, other media. Until
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't know you were filming.